Hi everyone, this is Krishna Malagapati, working as assistant professor in EEE department, St. Peter's Engineering College. So here in this video, I'm going to explain half-wave control rectifier with RL load along with freewheeling diode action. Okay. So in the last video, we already seen the half-wave control rectifier with RL load, and these were the waveforms which were discussed in the last video for RL load. Okay, I'm just modifying this video, these waveforms for freewheeling diode action also apart from the RL load. Oh, look at this. What is the disadvantage of RL load using RL load alone that I told that I given in the last class itself, but I'm repeating once again here also. So the disadvantage of RL load is, see this, there are two different values of voltage that we are getting at the output side. So we have to overcome this negative voltage. That is our aim here. So why do we overcome this voltage? Because of these two voltages, the average output voltage is going to be reduced. First point. The second point is, if it is reduced, power delivered to the load is going to be reduced. Second point. If power is reduced at the output, means the rectifier efficiency going to be reduced here. So to improve the rectifier output, first what we have to do? First eliminate this negative portion at the output side. Because of the inductor action at the output side, this is we are getting at the some negative voltage at the output side. So once we use the one diode across the load, automatically this is going to be clipped over here. Then we can improve the overall rectifier efficiency by using one diode along with RL load. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, half-wave rectifier, half-wave rectifier, half-wave control rectifier, half-wave control rectifier with RL load and freewheeling diode. Freewheeling diode. This for knowledge purpose, knowledge sake of knowledge, and it is not there in the syllabus. Just I am giving the some information about the freewheeling diode action, and few advantages are there using freewheeling diode at the output side. So we'll see them. Okay, take the circuit first. Draw the circuit as same how I am drawing. Look at this, and then we are using one isolated transformer. This is my isolated transformer. So number of turns at the primary side are equal to the number of turns at the secondary side of the transformer, and we are connecting one thyristor. This is my gate terminal, cathode, and anode, voltage across thyristor. Then this is thyristor and my load. This is my RL load. Simply, right? This is my previous circuit. No, this is my previous circuit. Very simple, right? This is my current entering into the load, and there is a voltage across this load. I'm taking over here, right? So this is my previous circuit where I'm using RL load. So for this circuit, these are the waveforms. This is the operation which we are discussed in the last class. Just we are going to see this portion only. This is only the thing going on, going to be changed over here. Okay, look at this. This is the supply, single phase, 220 volt, 50 hertz AC supply, right? So careful about writing the ratings of input AC supply, right? This is N1, this is N2, provided that N1 is equal to N2. It is isolated transformer and it is giving the same output value for the secondary voltage due to electromagnetic induction principle, right? Those are the basic things about the transformer, just remember. So what is our aim here? Just we are keeping one diode. We are keeping one diode. This is what we call freewheeling diode. D suffix FW, free wheels. Means what? Current is free wheels over here in the output side only. Current is free wheels. Continuous current that we are getting at the output side. That means the free wheels the current. To provide the current to flow continuously at the output side, we are using one diode called freewheeling diode. Right? Okay. With placing of this freewheeling diode, what is the operation? How the waveforms are going to be changed from previous case to this case? We'll see. Right? This is my supply. So my supply is an alternating quantity. It is an alternating quantity. I am applying positive half cycle to this circuit. Then I am calling this is a M terminal. N terminal. If I apply positive half cycle, then this will be plus, this will be minus. Current is coming like this and entering into the thyristor first. Once the anode voltage is more positive than the cathode voltage, automatically it is, we can say, forward biased condition. Whenever the gate pulse is giving to the gate terminal, automatically thyristor comes to conducting state from its forward blocking state. Right? Once it is conduct, it allows the current to flow, becoming short circuit, as we know, and current is entering into the node first. Listen very carefully. There are two paths that the current will flow. Right? So what happened here is, when the current is coming like trying to move this way, if the current is trying to move towards the diode side, then what happened? This is cathode terminal of the diode. This is anode of the diode. Listen very carefully here. See what happened. If the current is coming like this, then we can say cathode is more positive than the anode terminal of the device. Diode. Cathode is more positive than the anode terminal of the diode. Thereby what happened? In this condition, the diode is in reverse bias condition. It becoming open circuit. It doesn't allow the current to flow through it. Then the only option that the current will flow is, then current must go through the node only and back to source. This is the direction while positive half cycle of the input supply is applied to the circuit. Then what happens? We are getting, so positive half cycle is up to pi instant. So 0 to pi, after alpha only we are getting the output value. So this is the my value now, right now. So I am at this instant, at the pi instant. After that what happened? So inductor, whenever the supply is available to that inductor, it stores the energy, as we know. If the supply is not available, what happened? It is becoming active source to the circuit. Then immediately it starts to give the current to the circuit. Okay, and we can say during the positive half cycle, voltage is plus minus indication. In these polarities, inductor stores the energy. Once the supply is not available, the polarities of the inductor being changed, plus minus is over in the upper side, plus is there in the lower side, right? So if the plus is coming like this, current direction won't be changed because of the property of inductor. Inductor doesn't allow the sudden change in current. That's why initial current direction and right now the current direction is same. Only thing is it changes its polarities. That's why current is coming like this, entering into the node. Entering into the node. Then what happened here? Then what happened here? It's very important, right? So once we'll see the direction of current here. See the direction of current. Then what happened? Initially it doesn't allow the current to flow if the current is coming like this, because cathode is more positive than the anode. Now what happened? Current is trying to enter into in the reverse way into the anode direction, anode terminal of the device, anode terminal of the diode. Then what happened here? Anode is more positive than the cathode. Anode terminal is more positive than the cathode. Therefore, what happened? It is in forward biased condition. It is in forward biased condition. It is a uncontrolled device. Third terminal is not there. So diode having only two terminals. So once it is forward biased, it allows the current to flow by becoming short circuit, and allows the current to flow. Now what happened is whole current is trying to move this way till the current of the inductor decaying till zero. Right? What happened after this pipe is going to be zero. Current is going to be zero at the output side. But what happened? What about this portion of the output voltage? So that's the beauty of this operation. Okay, look at this. Then what happened? If it is short circuited, this line is short circuit. Okay. What is the voltage of short circuit? Short circuit voltage is 0 volt. Short circuit voltage is 0 volt. Then you just see the here. This is a parallel branch to this short circuit. Okay, parallel branch to the short circuit. Whatever the voltage that the parallel branch maintaining, also there at the all parallel branches. Am I right? Means what? If the short circuit carry having the 0 volt, this load is also having the 0 volt. That is the way that we are going to clipping this, overcome this portion negative of the supply, and we are having the voltage this way. Am I clear or not? Can I repeat? I am repeating here just to see. Once the up to positive half cycle is applied to this load, then what happens? It allows the current to flow. At that time, our inductor is going to be store the energy up to pi. The supply is available from the input side. But what happens after that pi? There is a chance to release the energy of this inductor, and inductor behaves like a active source for the circuit. During that condition, that timing, what happened is the current is trying to move this diode. Thereby, what happened is going to be forward bias and allows the current to flow. And we can say the current, the output current freewheels through the diode here. That's why we are calling the diode is freewheeling diode, right? So till that current extinguishes zero value, reaches to zero value, it's going to be zero. And because as we know, short circuit voltage value is always zero. That's why the parallel branch also maintaining the zero value. Thereby, output side during this condition, during the freewheeling diode operation, what happened is the voltage across the output is going to be zero. This portion. Initially, in case of RL load, what happened? Pi to beta. Pi to beta, what happened? There is some negative voltage. Now there is no negative voltage. Thereby, overall average voltage at the output side is going to be increased. And this portion also for the second cycle, right? And coming to this one, what happened here? Then this is same as R load. Same as R load. Look at this. Same as R load. What about this current? What about this current? Current wave won't change, but it's going to be what happened? Somewhat harmonics free current. What we say load side current. Somewhat harmonics are going to be reduced in the load current. So because of using freewheeling diode across the load, what happened is we can able to improve the output voltage so that there is an improvement in output power delivered to the load. Hence, the rectifier efficiency will be improved. And circuit turn off time uh, same as the resistive load. Don't worry about that. See, once we place the freewheeling diode across RL load, the entire waveform that we are getting as same as R load when we connect to the half-wave control rectifier. Very simple. So far we discussed R load, RL load along with freewheeling diode. RL load along with freewheeling diode will give us same operation of R load, right? So don't confuse in this case, and we'll see some advantages of freewheeling diode here. Okay, so the 3 points are there. Just you note down. Load current waveform is improved, means some harmonics are going to be reduced in the load current. so that the what happened is load current waveform, it was a non-sinusoidal in nature due to the harmonics present. Now what happened is this by placing the freewheeling diode, what happened, free wheels of currenting will make the somewhat harmonics are going to be reduced, so that the load current waveform is improved. As a result, load performance is going to be somewhat better. Right. Second point is freewheeling diode prevents the negative swing voltage except for a small diode voltage drop. Look at this. See this negative swing. Whatever we are in case of RL load, this portion negative swing of voltage is going to be removed totally. But what happened is every semiconductor device having its own voltage drop because it's having a nonlinear characteristics. Except that voltage drop, everything in case of negative swing voltage is going to be removed using freewheeling diode. Next, it improves the input power factor of the system. It improves the input power factor of the system. Let us say that input power factor is nothing but in case of that Vi sin phi, you can say Vi sin phi by Vi. Let us say like this. Okay, so this value with freewheeling diode is always less than the value same as it is with the freewheeling diode. We can say with the freewheeling diode is less than Vi sin phi by Vi without freewheeling diode. Without freewheeling diode, we will take freewheeling diode like this. Means what? How this input power factor improved with the help of freewheeling diode means, so Vi sin pi upon Vi with freewheeling diode is less than Vi sin phi upon Vi without freewheeling diode. Due to that, what happened? Due to that, what happened means what? Vi sin phi means what? It is a reactive power and apparent power. With that, what happened? Sin phi is less. Sin phi is less. Due to that, we will write here. Just remember, I am writing here. Sin phi is less. Due to that, phi is less. But what happened? Cos phi is improved. Cos phi is improved. Okay. By placing the freewheeling diode, in the circuit, the input power factor is improved. Okay. Basically, it is not a power factor improvement device, but placing the device in the circuit, then what happened is the power factor at the input side is improved, right? And one more notice that freewheeling diode with the RL load and freewheeling diode with RL load is same as R load of your rectifier, right? It is equal to R load. So freewheeling diode actually is absent in the case of resistive load. Okay. If you want to draw one more what do we say, one more waveform here, simply means what? I am taking one more waveform just for understanding purpose. This is for current flowing through freewheeling diode. Current flowing through freewheeling diode. I think you can able to see this one, final one. Look at this. So I am going to draw the waveform for current flowing through the freewheeling diode. Look at this. So during this portion, output current, input supply is available, and inductor stores the energy, and current will flow through the input supply, through the load, and back to the input, right? Then after, what happened during this portion? Output current is continuous, but there is no output voltage. That is very clear. Means what? When you place the freewheeling diode, automatically what happened? There is no power is feeding to the supply side from load side. That is going to be absent. Means second quadrant operation is going to be absent. Only first quadrant operation is going to be happen when you place the freewheeling diode across the RL load. Due to that, what happened during this pi plus beta? during that pi plus beta, this portion is there now. This portion is available across this is I naught, not is. This is I naught. Look at this. I naught is this total one. Then freewheeling diode, current flowing through freewheeling diode is this one, and after that there is no current flowing through diode, and you can able to say suppose negative half cycle. For the negative half cycle, how do we say that there is no current flowing through the freewheeling diode? Look at this, minus plus. So minus plus, when you use minus plus, then what happened here? Right? Look at this. This is plus, this is minus. Then current is coming like this and entering into the node. Right? First we'll see this direction. Okay. Then if this allows the current to flow, then what happened? This is going to be short circuited first. So allows the current to flow in the negative half cycle duration. Then current is entering into this node, right? So it won't come back like this, one option, right? Then it has to come this way only. Then what happened? This is going to be open circuited. Thereby there is no connection to the supply side. That's why during the negative half cycle that we are applying to the circuit, though the freewheeling diode is forward biased, there is no closed path to flow the current here. That's why no current flowing, even though negative half cycle is applying. Thereafter what happened? Then up to this portion there is no output current, sorry, there is no freewheeling current. Then after again this portion will come in picture. So that's why when we take another waveform, what is that? Input current. So this is the output current, this is the freewheeling diode current. What will be the input current waveform? That is my question here. So I'm just taking here, just we got the idea about the output voltage. I'm just roughing here. Okay, in place of output voltage, I'm taking simply. Okay, let us be with this. Okay, look at this. Here I'm taking input supply current, right? So during this portion there is no current. Then what happened? Simply increasing portion, right? Once it reaches to pi, is going to be 0. Means what? Up to pi only there is a current flowing through the input side. Then what happened? Next portion, during this portion, what happened? Current flowing through the freewheeling diode. See this portion. So once it is 0, then negative cycle comes into action. During negative half cycle, because of thyristor's reverse bias condition, no current flowing through the circuit till next to 2 pi. Okay. Then after again alpha is applied, then it starts increasing till 3 pi. Then I am calling this is IS. Okay, like this we have the input current. So what I want to say is this output current is the combination of input current and freewheeling diode current. Look at this. This is the portion which we can see in input supply. This is the portion. This portion we can see during the freewheeling action. Means what? Output current is a continuous one due to the summation of input current and freewheeling diode current. This is the beauty of this circuit. Means we are getting more number of waveforms. So this analysis is very important. So when you know the operation of circuit, when you know the basics for electrical circuits and semiconductor analog electronics, then only we can able to analyze this entire circuit with beautiful waveforms. Okay, we'll see remaining topic in the next class. Thank you.